Hello, world. I am Seth Ponder. I teach high school engineering and technology. I'm the host of the EdTech Heroes PonderCast, where educators share ideas for students to become creators of their content, not just consumers. I have the king of students becoming creators, Matt Jerlecki, on this episode from Concord Schools. We talked so much, I had to split this episode into two episodes. So today we're going to talk about how his students created a student tech conference for everyone all around the state and more. Let's get started. I've got Matt Jerlecki with us from Concord Schools. He's got a new job, and I want to let Matt introduce himself. And so, Matt, where are you from, and what's your new job title?
Okay, so again, like Seth said, I'm Matt Jerlecki. My new job title is Director of Technology for Concord Community Schools. Prior to that, I taught engineering and design at the junior high school level for 8 years roughly. And the last 3 years, I've been a digital learning specialist for Concord Community Schools.
Let me throw some questions at you real quick for some lightning rounds so that our audience can get to know you a little bit better. Question number one is, what is your favorite color?
Purple.
What's your favorite app right now?
Okay, so I can put a shameless plug in for my kid right now. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So any Rocket League players out there, or Fortnite players out there, or League of Legends out there, or PUBG players out there, okay, there's a fantastic app you can download when you're playing the game. It's called GIF Your Game. GIF Your Game. So it's an app that at any point in time, like if you're playing Rocket League, it automatically records every goal that you score. And then you just click a button and it automatically makes a GIF of it. And then you can share it out on your Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. So same thing in Fortnite or whatever. And we all know that the gamers in our lives love sharing their accomplishments. So GIF Your Game is the one I would pump.
Now, you just said, can I plug somebody? Who is that somebody?
Okay, so James, my son, lives in Santa Monica, and he has developed several apps for different things, iOS, Android, all those different systems. And so this one, GIF Your Game, is his company, and they're doing great. Like, they're really doing great.
Who is your favorite Miss Indiana winner?
Okay, so let's see. 2009, we had our first Miss Indiana winner, Katie Stam, that actually is the only Miss America for the state of Indiana. However, my favorite is 2011. That was my daughter, Jackie Jerlecki. So
I was getting worried. I didn't think you were going to mention her.
No, see, I had to set it up, right? Like I had to set it up for you, right?
What's one of your favorite experiences in the classroom? Maybe your favorite thing to teach?
Let's see. So we're going to get to something here at the end. So like I shamelessly plug James, but we're going to not even shamelessly, we're going to professionally, to the best of our ability, plug EdTech in the Bend at the end of this, I'm told. And so we'll talk about the weather balloons. We'll get to that. But one of the things that I've continued to enjoy is we started the last few years here at Concord robotics teams. And we purposely have done them with fourth graders. So if you're familiar with the first Lego League, fourth through eighth grade are all competing together. And so the fourth graders, while not at a significant disadvantage, you would assume correctly that, eighth graders should have an advantage if they've done it for 5 years and these fourth graders have never done it before. So this was the first year we had a fourth grade team that actually qualified for the state tournament. Yep. In Fort Wayne at Purdue. You IU people out there, it's not IU anymore. It's just Purdue Fort Wayne. So they qualified there, and they did not make it to the national competition. But I believe there were 11 teams from Elkhart County. Again, all of them were older than us. Some of them had competed for 5 years, we were the highest scoring team out of Elkhart County, the fourth graders. So that was pretty doggone cool.
And so now I want to talk to you. You do great things all year round. You don't just wait for the school year to start, but it takes a lot of planning to get this HSD Lead conference that you host. Let's talk about it. What is HSD Lead?
Okay, so first I probably will do it at the beginning and then again at the end. We could not pull it off without the wonderful support of Concord Community Schools in general, and all the staff and administration that help us with it. But as a digital learning specialist, we called it Team DLS around here. There were three of us, Kendra Devine and Tyler Stevens, who we did this as a team. So in no way is, I just was, the person that helped them is how I try to put it. But we had taken, as you know, the DOE, Department of E-Learning, had started student conferences, Hoosier Student Digital Leader Conferences. Mm-hmm. They tried to do one in the fall, one in the spring, and they had done those. And we had a digital media crew that I had started at the junior high school, that when that came out, they really weren't a tech team, but I contacted Michelle Green and said, hey, can I bring these kids? They do help out with a lot of stuff. And they still do. Like it's funny, our junior high kids are the ones that live stream graduation and do all these other things in our district. And she said, sure. So we did this a couple years. And then, as you know, we can complain some more here. Us being up here up north, the DOE likes to have stuff in Indianapolis, a lot. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because their offices are close. I don't know. But so Michelle was very encouraging, like, let's have something up here at the north. Like, is there a way we could do it? And as you can tell from this already, and Seth and I's relationship, I always say, yes, sure, we'll do it. And so 2 years ago, we hosted the first one in November. And having been at these, they typically were adults talking to the students saying, hey, these are cool things you could do. And that was great. Like, hey, these are cool apps. Or like you asked me what app I like. And they were sharing. But we said, and Michelle's vision originally was like, these are student conferences. So if it's a student conference, we can have students doing the whole thing. Like, again, what do they need us old people getting in the way for? So we said, every session we're going to have, other than our keynote person, is going to be students doing it. Now, yes, we might have had a teacher in the room or something like that to help them, but it was not going to be adults, teachers talking. So we set it for November. That first year, we got about 125 students from all over the state, again, 6, 8 kids. And we had student presenters from 3rd grade all the way through high school, and presented on everything from Flipgrid, Google Sites, Pictochart, Book Creator. I mean, I can't even think of them all. And it went so well that our school district said, we don't care if the state gives you any grant money, we're doing that again, because it was just great. And I'm plugging Matt Maudlin there at South Bend Community Schools brought some wonderful gals from your Project Lead the Way, but what did you call them? They had like a little team name.
Oh yeah. So they were some of our ambassadors, like our student leaders for our Project Lead the Way program that we have up here at Riley High School.
Right. So they came, did a fantastic presentation as well. And so that first year they were they were the ones that outside the district that presented. Well, this next year, so last November, a couple months ago, was our second one. We ended up getting up to about 175 students that came, and a lot of them came from a lot farther away. And same thing, we had different, like from Stanley Clark and different schools that came and presented. And it was the same thing, all students, all student presenters. And what was really encouraging was it's like a Google Summit for me and you. Like, here's the schedule, students, go wherever you want. Like, we're not watching you. We're not telling you what to do. Logistically, it's a little funky because our junior high school was in session that day. And so as you and I know, we go to conferences like ICE or whatever, and well, it's great because it's over fall break. Well, no, this was a school day for us and for these kids that were coming. So we're like, well, we all can't be in the hallway at the same time. So let's figure this out. But there were 4 sessions. 4 slots of sessions, and there were basically 5 or 6 at each one, and there were a couple maker spaces, and it was great. So next year we're hoping to get to 200 students, which will mean there'll be about 225 kids here. And again, we loved it. There was great support from the DOE. And again, like, we're going to do, like, this is something Concord we want to keep doing. And we're hoping everybody that came, like you, willing to bring some student presenters. And we told them we would love it only to be like 2 or 3 Concord presenters and more outside the district, but some of it is, as you know, they needed to come and kind of see what that meant, the fear factor, I guess.
Who are some of the people that like keynoted and talked to you guys?
Okay, so the first year we had Isma Kelturi. Yeah, and that's as close as you're going to get. She is a coder for Pear Deck that came, and she, again, we were very young coder, a University of Iowa graduate, could speak 5 different languages. I mean, it was just fantastic. So that, again, model for the students. And I'm careful when I say this, but you don't need us big bad adults to be able to do what it is you want to do in your life, and like this, right? I mean, you're a 4th grader. You want to start a podcast, go do it. Like, you want a YouTube channel and tell everybody what you think, go do it. Like, you don't need, Seth and Matt Jerlecki's permission to do anything, to do any of that.
Yeah,
I'm
sure we've got some of our own students that are running Twitch accounts that are making as much money as we are.
Yeah, correct. In more ways than one, I'm probably thinking. But again, and then she ran a session about how she got into coding, how, she loved languages, but she loves people. That stereotype of, oh yeah, I like this, coders sit and they put their hat on and don't talk to anybody. She does not fit that in any shape or form. So that was great. And then at the end, we had a closing keynote. And many of you may have seen him. You saw the video going around about the Amazon package that people stole, that the glitter blew up. Okay. So Mark Rober has an extremely, extremely successful YouTube channel. Well, he had done a Google Hangout the year before with our 2nd graders when they did Egg Drop Challenge, talking about, because I'll put it this way, his real job was to work on the Mars rover, not just make a YouTube channel. But he closed us out that first year, and again talked about, where do you get ideas? They're not, out of a textbook always, and they're people like me and you just bouncing ideas off each other and saying, "Hey, you think this is crazy?" And we say yes, and then we do it anyway. So that was the first year. Daniel Singer was our keynote this last year. I can say it now because we're over. He left high school early at 16 because he was able to raise $1 million then for an app to it's like an Animoji app, but it incorporates Siri or OK Google, depending on which one you're at. And so you can just say, like, put a hat on my head, and like we were doing this, it would put the hat on my head or whatever, so that, as we're having these conversations, it's voice activated. So he's working on that technology. He's raised some money. And yeah, he was at 16. He was on like 2020 and highlighted, and he's still only 19. So I go, well, you're going to be as close to age as the kids in the audience as anybody I can find. So he did a Google Hangout from San Francisco, where his office is, and again, talked to the kids about and he said it about 10. He goes, how do I figure this out? I Google it. Like, I Google it. Then I start from there, and then I build relationships. And then I go, oh, Seth knows something that I don't. I'm going to ask Seth, and Seth can help me. So they've been great. Like, they've been great so far, and they fit with the theme of what we're trying to do. So as you can tell, hopefully in my voice, yeah, we loved them. They were great. They were great for the kids. So hopefully we can do it for a long time.
Yeah, we're trying to have experiences like that with the students and get more speakers in as often as possible. And that's a great example because, some of these kids look at us the same way, look at teachers the same way as they look at their parents. And we're both parents, and it's like in one ear, out the other. And it's like, no, like, please, like, we'll find somebody who you totally buy into. And and maybe they follow on YouTube.
That I know you do, and I can't give you enough praise because I know you do it, is, not to slide over, but like that's the successful and the dynamic and the teachers that I admire, including you, have recognized that their role has shifted, that we're not less important. It's just we're different important, is what I say. And you and I can reach out and introduce those people to those kids, and might have some access to some stuff that the kids don't have, to create those relationships. They don't need me in the middle of the relationship. They just kind of need me to introduce them. And that's what, like I said, that's what we've been able to do.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. I just saw maybe a few months ago, Don Wettrick down at Noblesville was talking to his students about, YouTube and everything. And, they brought up Ninja, and he just sent Ninja a tweet. And within 10 minutes, they were doing a Google Hangout with Ninja, who is, if you don't know who Ninja is, he's like the biggest Twitch YouTuber gamer in the world right now. And so
hey, he was on like the cover of ESPN magazine, and like an esports guy.
This is great. I hope people got to know you. I hope they're excited. I'm going to throw a whole bunch of links down below. Matt's social media, his Twitter. Start following him.
Thank you, Seth. I really appreciate being invited on the PonderCast. Anytime, you know it.
All right. Thank you so much. Tell your friends. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this channel. See ya.